What's going on, YouTube? We're back today with episode number 2 of Sports Talk. This week we're talking about this episode we're talking about the 4 playoff games, wildcard weekend playoff games, and the changes the Redskins need to make and who they should keep. First, let's start off with the playoff games. The first one that happened was Carolina and Arizona, and it was a terrible game to watch. Arizona offense only had 78 total yards, which is worst amount of yards in a playoff game ever. And I don't know how they scored 16 points. Carolina, if they want to win next week against Seattle, they can't make the mistakes they made. They only won by 11 points. Yeah, 11 points against the Arizona team that only got 78 yards. How? How do you only win by 11 when the team can't even go the distance of the field the whole entire game? They can't even get 100 yards, but they score 16. So technically they scored 14 because the 2 were from safety at the end of the game that Carolina gave them. But still, how do you give up 14 points on defense? Turn the ball over that much down and Arizona also had a chance towards the end of the game to score more points, but Lindley threw an interception at the end of the game. I mean, not at the end of the game, but when they were down there to Kuechly. So that game was just terrible to watch. Carolina, if they're going to win next week, which I don't think they will, make those picks in a later episode, but I don't think they're going to win. They'll play a whole lot better in Seattle to have even a chance. Even be close. If they play like they did this week, it's going to be a blowout. And they will play Seattle next week. All right, the next game, the Saturday night game. The game I wasn't very surprised over the outcome. I thought it would be a little closer, but I picked Baltimore to win. Without Le'Veon Bell, the Steelers struggled. They didn't have a run attack. They didn't have blocking in the backfield. And on the one play that hurt them the most, the interception, they were down by, 6 or 8. I think it was 8. Whatever it was. When Tate went that off his hands and Raiden and wasn't it T-Sizzle? I think T-Sizzle got the interception there. And it was just... to win a game, you need all your players healthy, and they didn't have Le'Veon Bell, who was their main man all year round. That's why I picked Baltimore to win the game, and they would go on to face New England next week, which will be a tough battle. That's going to be a tough game. Baltimore's had success up in New England, but that was also a different team. I don't think their defense is as good as they were in 2012. Yeah, 2012. When they won the Super Bowl with Ray Lewis. No. Defense isn't as good as it was then, but who knows? They could win. It's possible. And the third game. The last AFC game. Indianapolis and Cincinnati. Once again, Cincinnati, Andy Dalton, and Marvin Lewis can't win a playoff game. Marvin Lewis still hasn't won a playoff game for his whole career. It has been talked about getting fired. People are saying to fire him because he can't win a game in the playoffs. But he can get you to the playoffs, so depends what you want. Might not be able to win the playoff game, but at least he gets you there. That's something good. Indianapolis, once again, I picked them 4-0 this week. They were the better team. Even with AJ Green and Gresham, the tight end for Cincinnati, I still think Indianapolis would have won this game. But without him, it hurt them. They lost 26-10. It's a bad luck. Andy Dalton, alright game, but he had a lot of bad missed throws. Could have helped him. But Indianapolis still, I think it was week 7 or something, they beat them earlier, so even with help, they sort of lost, in my opinion. Indianapolis is just the better team. Now the last game, Dallas and Detroit. Where Detroit jumped on Dallas to a 14-0 lead. Had the lead till the last, 4 minutes? Something like that. When Dallas drove down. What I want to talk about is that call. It's a pass interference call on the drive, on the next to last drive that Detroit had with 8 minutes left, I think it was. And it was clear that it was at least holding. It was something. It was something against Dallas. You can't call it. You can't throw a flag. Call it to the stadium. Call it to everyone. Say TV, everyone. Then a few seconds later, say, "Oh no! It wasn't a pass interference. We might have just made the call to everyone. We're going to take that back." Another bad look is the head of officiating I don't know if it was before or after the game, was in Jerry Jones' Cowboys party bus, which just makes, I don't know. Maybe the fix was in, I don't know. But to get that call, it was clear cut that it was a penalty. I saw that the Detroit Pettigrew grabbed his face mask. Okay. Then call offsetting penalties, replay 3rd down and 1. We wouldn't be talking about this. Whatever. But it was clear that there was a penalty on the Dallas guy, and the Detroit one could have been called. One of the way, you got to call either one. You got to call at least the Detroit one or the Dallas one. You can't say no penalty at all. It was clear. There was pass interference and holding when he was at the line of scrimmage. There was a hold too. You got to make the call. That's what changed the game. It would have been, if it was pass interference, they would have had it at the 28 field goal range with ease. And holding penalty would have given them the 1st down at least. And then no penalty called. They try to draw Dallas offsides. They can't. Delay a game. Next, oh my God, the punt that goes to the 1st down marker, 10 yards, not even 10 yards. Anyone can punt better than that. Anyone. A 10-yard shank. If you're not going to go for it and punt the ball, at least punt it out of the damn end zone. 10-yard shank. You just can't make that mistake. But that does it for the 4 playoff games. I'm going to do a playoff preview for the 4 games on Saturday and Sunday. I'm not sure what time they are. I know they're playing. It's the Carolina Panthers in Seattle, Green Bay, and Dallas. Colts will go to Denver, and Baltimore go to New England, but I don't know what time the games are. I'll worry about that next